Hi guys, it's Tammy. I'm back to show you how to brush in the rhinestones for your templates. I am doing a two-color volleyball. So I have cut one template for the crystal and one for the red. So I like to do the color that has the least amount first. So I'm going to brush in the red ones. So I'll set this one aside. And I'm going to use a hinge method. So what I do is I lay down my template, and then I take my hot fix heat transfer paper and I hinge it over to the side. So right here where the white is, it gives it a grip, so I can just lay my transfer paper right there. And then I'm going to dump some red. And then I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to start brushing in the stone. You want to dump as much of the stones as possible, because the more you have on there, the easier it is to fill in the holes. So you just take your brush. This is just a painter's brush that I got from Lowe's or Home Depot, and you're just going to kind of gently, in a circular motion, just kind of literally brush the stones in. And what happens is that the stones push on each other and turn them right side so that they just fall right into the hole. So once I'm happy with it, I'm going to start brushing it aside. Now when I cut this template, I underestimated the amount I was going to need, so I'm missing some holes down at the bottom, but that's okay because I'm just going to fill those in by hand. So I'm going to brush all these aside. And I can tell where they go because the machine just cut off the very end of the circles. So get those on there. Okay, and once that's there, I like to run my hands across my design to see if there's any extras that are sitting around or some that are not laying quite flat. And then I'm going to scoop up my stones and cover up that hole. I'm going to scoop up my stones and put them back in the container. Otherwise, I will probably get them everywhere because I am a complete klutz. So brush these into the scoop. And then dump them in the container. Okay. Recap. And then what I do is I just grab the transfer tape and I just start on the end and I just kind of gently lay it down on top of my design. And then I just give it a good once over, twice over to make sure that all the stones are being stuck to the paper. Once I feel good about it, I'll lift it up and make sure that all the stones are picked up. If they're not, I just go back over and push on it some more. There we go. And then set that aside. Now I'll take my second layer for the crystals, and I've got top written up here, top on here, so that I know where to line them up. And because the boxes are the exact same size, I could just lay them right on top of each other. And then I'm going to dump my crystal rhinestones. And it might seem like there's a lot, but really the more you dump, the easier it's going to be to fill those holes. Because I could just gently sweep it across this way and then start brushing them aside, and most of them are already going to be filled. And if they're not, I could just go back over them and then start sweeping them to the side. Okay, and then I again go across the pattern. I can see that there's an extra stone right here. I can just brush that into an empty spot. There's some that are turned, so brush those out of the way. And you're going to be able to feel them. They're going to feel a little raised. They're not going to feel even. And you'll be able to tell the ones that are turned upside down because on one side you'll have the crystal, and then on the other side it'll be the adhesive, and it's usually a darker gray color or a black. So I can see that I have one right here. I'm just going to take my tweezers and I'm going to flip it. I can see I have an extra stone here. Get that out of the way. I'm missing a stone here. Drop one in. Get another look-see. Oop, there's an extra one. There's another extra one. I just flipped that one over. Okay, looks good. So let me scoop these stones up. And you don't have to scoop them up. You can set them to the side. You can brush it over to the side out of your way. I just, from experience, I get them more on my transfer tape than anywhere else, so it's just easier for me to get in the habit of scooping them up and putting them away as I go. There's one more in there. Okay. Cap that up, set it aside. Now I'm going to take my transfer paper, my tape, and I like to pull it straight up so that I know that it's going to be nice and smooth. Again, start smoothing it down, and then go over it again to make sure that I've got them all stuck. And I see I have an extra stone right there. So that's okay. Once you see that there's an extra stone, when you lift it up, you can just take your tweezers and pluck it off. So go back and see where that is. Yep. And it's going to be right here. And there we go. Now you can just lift off the hinge, and now you're ready to take it to the press and press it onto your garment or whatever medium you like. I'm going to press this on a shirt, so I'll be right back and I'll show you how I press it. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to press the volleyball onto my shirt. I've already got it. My heat press is heated to the temperature needed for the rhinestones. You're going to want to check with your manufacturer to make sure that you have the proper temperature, because each set of stones are different, and you want to make sure that you have the appropriate temperature. So when you're ready, you just kind of lay it on wherever you need it or wherever you want to place it. That looks good. And I'm going to put down a Teflon cover, and I'm going to press it. I like to put down the Teflon cover because I already have the HTV on there and I don't want that to get scorched. So I'm going to lay the cover down, press it for the full amount of time. Lift it up. Remove my heat transfer. And then what I like to do is I like to take it off of the press, turn it inside out. Lay it back on there. And then give it another press. For about half the amount of time. So this one calls for 20 seconds, so I'm just going to do 10. There you go. And then you can tell that the adhesive has melted because you'll see the raised area. I don't know if you can see it on here, but you can see each of the rhinestones have melted onto the shirt, and you can see the impression on it. So that's it. If you have any questions, give me some comments and or message me, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, thanks.